As you guys can tell from the thumbnail and the title of this video, this won't be the happiest video. I just wanted to prepare you guys because we will be talking about some personal things that some of you have been wondering about probably for a while now. I also want to say that I am new to like vlogging and having a camera on me. There might be times where I'm like looking away or like not looking at the camera. Maybe sometimes I'm looking at myself, but maybe not. Well, I hope you still liked the video.
Hey, what's up you guys? Hope you're having a nice day. Today I want to talk about the question that a lot of people have been asking, and it's where's Mina and why isn't she in the vlogs? Mina's back in England, but I understand why you guys are concerned considering she was with me in 19 out of 20 of the vlogs that I've uploaded to this channel this entire year. I might as well have rebranded the channel to Edwin and Mina, but unfortunately I can't do that anymore because she can't come back to the United States. If you follow me on Twitter, you might remember a while ago I tweeted that I'm so excited to see her tomorrow. Yeah, I was talking about Mina because I thought that I would be seeing her the next day. Since Mina is not a citizen of the United States, she has to like renew her visa every 3 months. To renew your visa, you basically just have to check back into your home country, and that's why she would visit home and then come back. She landed at LAX at 1:30 p.m. and she was meant to fly into Phoenix at 3:30 p.m. However, I didn't hear from her at all when she landed, so I was very confused. I just assumed that she was in a rush to catch her flight to Phoenix. So I was about to get in my car to go pick her up at 3 p.m. when I get a call from customs at LAX. They told me that she was at LAX and not to worry and that I would be receiving another call in a couple hours. Time just felt like it was going by so slow, and I was just pacing around my entire house, and it wasn't until 4 hours later that I got a call from an officer at the customs again, and all he said was that you'll get a call from Mina in about 5 hours or so. And I was like, okay, is there anything you can tell me? Is she being detained? Why? He's like, yeah, she's being detained, can't tell you anything else. I was like, what? 5 hours go by and more hours go by, and I'm so stressed out. I haven't heard from her at all. I'm staring at my phone. I have no idea what's going on. I never got the call and I was stressing out so bad. I started dozing off, but at 2 a.m. I heard my phone vibrate, and it was a text from Mina, and it said that not to worry and that she's getting sent back the following day. And it was such a relief to hear from her, but it was also so painful because I can only imagine what she had gone through. That she said she was only allowed that one text and another call that she would use on me later on. And you know, that's what was painful for me, you know, just imagining how bad it was for her to be like in a room interrogated and all that stuff. I just imagined such bad things, and it was worse when she told me the story and how bad it was all validated, how they treated her so badly. Anyways, Mina wanted to tell you guys herself the details about what went on her side.
Around the beginning of June, I came to London. I went back to LAX on the 15th. I went through the passport scanners, the security, no problem. I then got to customs. He's just looking at my passport. He looks at like how many times I've come, and then he tells me, you've been here a few times. And I'm like, yeah, I like it here, because it's the truth. I come because I like it here. He then goes over to these guys, these other custom guys, and they're all looking at my passport. He comes back to me. He says, okay, we're gonna do a search. He goes through my suitcase. He goes through my 2 other bags that I have, and he shows no respect with this. He's just flinging everything everywhere. He's unzipping my bags of wigs and just basically no respect at all. Goes to my other bag, and then he like rips the handle off of it, and I'm just like, you've just like broken my bag. But I don't say anything because he doesn't say anything. So I eventually tell him, I'm like, yeah, you've broken my bag. Do you think you can like do something? He's like, well, we can't give you another bag, but I have tape. And I'm just like, okay, fine, thank you. After he's gone through my smallest bag, he gets my phone and he gives me a sheet of paper basically stating that he's allowed to go down it. I didn't know this at the time, but apparently you can deny them like access into your phone, like to unlock it. I didn't know this, so I just let him do it. I put my thumbprint in and he got into it. So he's scrolling down my phone for about 20 minutes. The guy is just like scrolling. That's what I'm guessing he was doing, is scrolling. And these other guys, they're like looking back while they're all like hovering around my phone, and I'm just like, this is weird behavior. In my opinion, this is weird. I wonder if like other people have this. I wonder if other people like get treated like that and like so blatantly laughed at. Well, the guy comes back with my phone. He still has it in his hand. He hasn't given it back to me. And he says, okay, we're gonna move to the customs room. And in this room, there are 2 beds in the back, and there's like 3 rows of seats. and there's 2 desks where some people were getting questioned. So I thought maybe this won't be too bad. I wasn't too stressed out at this point. I was just very frustrated because I didn't want to say anything. Like, I didn't want to complain because I didn't want them to get annoyed with me. Eventually I asked what the time was, and it was getting closer to my flight, which was at 3:30. I'm like, hey, yeah, I have a connecting flight. What's gonna happen with that, you know? And he says, well, you shouldn't be worrying about that because you should be thinking about your interrogation, your questioning that you're gonna have. And so I'm like, okay, well, what would happen though? Like, for instance, what would happen? He's like, well, we would, you know, we'd pay for that flight, we'd fund it if you do get accepted into the US. So I'm just like, okay. I'm just in that room for so many hours, so many hours, and they still don't let me talk to Edwin. And I eventually get this guy come up to me, and he's like, okay, we can call him now. Yeah, you're not allowed to call him though, we will do it. He's like making really uncomfortable jokes. This is what I felt like. It was so weird, and I don't know if like this is something that people deal with too. Like, I want to know if anyone's had that experience before. Is that something that they do? Because it was very uncomfortable, like uncomfortable humor that they were making. It's like they know you're feeling like shit, and they were kind of doing this to other people too. Like they were making fun of a guy like for praying. He was trying to see his children, I think, and so they were making fun of him. I just thought that was really disrespectful and rude. And so the guy's like being like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll call him. And then he comes out after calling Edwin, and he tells me like, yeah, your friend was like really nosy, he wanted to know like why we're going to interview you. And I'm just like, he's not being nosy, he's just being concerned. Like, I'm sure if he was in that position, whoever's calling for him is gonna ask the same thing. I just thought it was so weird. Yeah, so then I end up getting a full body search by these two women, and then these two women and these two guys end up escorting me and the guy who's also with me in that room to another part of the airport. Around this time, this is when I started like breaking down and crying, because I thought, you know what, this is too long now. It was about 6 p.m. and then this woman was telling me like, you've been strong for so long, why are you breaking down now? And I tell her, I say it's because I feel I haven't done anything wrong, and I wouldn't do anything. I'm not a threat, you know? They take me to this place that's like kind of underground, and it's like a interrogation chamber. I say chamber because it's like you're in this room and this is where you sleep. Like, you sleep, you stay, you go to the toilet in this room, like everything is here. You stay in this room for however long you stay in. I felt so upset. I felt so alone. I just wanted to talk to somebody. I wanted to have like a actual conversation with somebody who's not gonna be so formal and cold to me. Everyone was so cold. I wanted to talk to somebody I knew. I wanted to feel comfortable. I get interrogated at probably, I think it's like midnight, and then I get sent back to my room, and then the woman in that room who's at the desk, she tells me that I'm allowed a call, and I tell her I'd like to call my friend Edwin, and then like she goes on to say like, oh, you look so young, don't you want to call your mom, like let her know what's happening and stuff? And I'm just like, my mom is probably going to be asleep, because at the time it was, I knew that she wouldn't answer. So she didn't care. Like, she was acted so weirdly when I told her that I just want to call Edwin because my mum won't be awake or she won't be there to answer. She was just like, but why? Why would you want to call him and not your mom? I'm just like, because I know for a fact that she's probably not going to answer it. She didn't listen, so she wrote down that I was going to call my mom, basically. And so when the guy eventually comes to me to have my call, and I get to finally have my phone after not having it for a whole day, he says, yeah, so you're allowed to call somebody. Yeah, I have you down as you're calling your mom. And I said, no, I've already explained to her why. And he's like, well, we can't change that because it's already down there as that. So I call her, she doesn't answer. He's just like looking at me like blankly, and I'm just like, well, seeing as I haven't had my call, can I please try like to call someone else, or at least like text Edwin, you know? And then he's like, yeah, you can send a voice note to your mom and you can send a text to Edwin. So I did that, and I tried to pack in as much as I could to Edwin. I tried to like just convince him that everything is going to be okay, that I'm not, you know, that I'm not too upset. Like, I am really, really upset, but I just wanted him to feel happy. I didn't want him to panic or not know what was going on, you know? And it was horrible. It was so horrible. I couldn't sleep. My flight going back was at 3. After I had my interrogation, the guy who interrogated me comes up to me and he tells me that the reason why they are not letting me into the US today is because I did not have a return ticket. That was it. So he told me that the waiver that I have is banned. I can never apply for a waiver again, but I can apply for like a B2 tourist or any other of the visas, like a work visa. I'm not banned from the United States. I just couldn't come in that day. Yeah, he said also, like, I tried telling him, I was like, you know, I've came to the US multiple times, as you can see, and each time I've came, I've never overstayed. I have always bought a return ticket eventually. And he said, yeah, well, it doesn't matter if I say yes to that, it doesn't matter because that's the rules. So the next day, they still treat me like that. They still treat me like a prisoner. They still treat me like I'm a threat to all these people in the airport. They have 2 guys, like one in front of me and one behind me, and they're just like taking me along, and I'm just like, this is so weird, this is so unnecessary. I even say that to them at one point because people are looking at me. Like, I get to the gate and people are staring at me because I have these 2 police officers like telling me where to go and stuff, and it's like, this is so weird.
It was so painful to hear that they sent her back, and also that she can't come back for a while. It just really feels like I can't catch a fucking break. When I went to LA a couple weeks ago, I went to a few parties, and a lot of people were asking about Mina because they had met her and they really liked her, and it was so hard for me to retell everything so many times. At one point I even said I don't even know how to vlog without her because I've been vlogging with her the entire year. I've always had this really pessimistic view of Arizona, honestly, because most people that I've met here, I've always been like, just didn't get me, you know? They've always been like, oh, what are you doing, YouTube? What are you wasting your time, man? Get a 9-to-5 job. I don't have many friends here, and the friends that I do have here have different interests. And you know, Mina helped me get a more optimistic view of Arizona, but that's when she was here, and now that she's not here, I feel like my best friend was ripped away from me. I can't tell you how many people have told me that, Edwin, there's a silver lining to all the crap you've been through. You made yourself a new friend that's amazing and supportive to you. And now I don't even have that, man. What the f— it just hurts, man. Mina was there on one of the hardest days of my life where I just wanted to drink my fucking life away. There's been— see, this is why I didn't want to make this video, man, because I get all emotional. Fudge. She's someone that made such a strong impact in my life in such a short amount of time that it's really incredible. And you know, it's probably the emo ass depression talking right now, but I feel so fucking shitty, man. I miss her so much. There were a few times back in March and February where I hurt myself, and I said that I wanted to hurt myself, and it meant so much to me that she was there for that, because that was like my lowest, man. I was in such a bad shape, and the fact that she was— fuck, man, it just— because that's not me. That's never been me. That's not something I want to be defined by. That's not something that— I feel so much shame just saying it out loud. It's such a weird mental feeling when you're so depressed that you feel like you have absolutely no one, even when you do. But she was there for me. She's it just means so much to me. And I don't know. I could sit here and list so many examples of how she's helped me, but I don't want to make a whole video crying because I feel sad that she's not here, you know? Man, I've been feeling down a lot, lacking motivation, feeling so negative, and I want to fight that, man. I guess what's next is I would love to visit her in London, but that's gonna be difficult because she doesn't have a good situation at home, so we're gonna have to find like different places to stay, and obviously that's very expensive. So I'm just gonna be trying to work extra hard to find sponsorships for YouTube, work extra hard to make more videos. Hopefully, see, that's the problem. When I don't feel so motivated, it's hard to make videos, but I'm just gonna try to fight it. I'm also gonna go out of my way to say thank you so much to my Patreons, because you guys are the ones pushing my YouTube. You know, YouTube ads don't pay at all. Anyone who thinks there's YouTube money anymore, it's a drought up in there. Thank you so much, and thank you, Clarissa, for giving the highest donation possible. Girl, means the world.
This part of the video is something that it hurts a lot. It hurts so much to talk about because it's me acknowledging the fact that I'm here, and it's remembering things about Edwin that I love, and it hurts. When I first met Edwin, the first kind of thing I felt from him was that he is very genuine and he is very, very kind. I liked that. I liked his humor. I liked so many things about Edwin. When everything was kind of going downhill, he was affected by it greatly. So there was a night where he was very, very upset. I was in this situation where I wasn't sure what to do. So it was like I either help Edwin as a support, like emotional support to be there for him, or I just, you know, I stay where I was, and I couldn't do that because he really opened up to me. He showed himself entirely to me emotionally. When I saw him like just expressing himself like that, I didn't want to leave him. I just wanted to be with him. I wanted to be there for him. him so badly. Like, it's a feeling I never felt before. Like, when we got into the car to head to this place, I was looking at him and he didn't see, but I started crying because I felt so bad for him. I felt so bad, and I didn't want him to be sad. All I wanted to do was make Edwin happy. I hope I did that night. I really hope I did. And he's always been there for me. Like, no matter what, like, even when we didn't really know each other that well, he's always been truthful and really kind. He's done so much. So much. To be away from him for this long, to be forced apart from somebody that you don't want to be apart from, it really hurts. Edwin has made me grow so much. I've said to him before, like, around the beginning of, like, getting to know him, he's very out there, you know. He's not afraid to be himself, and I've always been somebody who's like that. I'm afraid to let people know who I really am. There's something that he did where he was very, like, he was pushing my buttons, basically, and making me come out of my shell a bit more than I really wanted to. And at the time, I felt so irritated and so angry. But then after that came out of me, I was kind of like, why did I feel that? Why did I feel so trapped and not wanting to get out? Honestly, Edwin has really improved my kind of, like, anxiety of, like, being myself. And that's what I mean. It's like, it's so sad to, like, just be away from somebody who's helped you so much. Like, he's helped me mentally. He's helped me in real life. Like, he's done so much for me. He has done so much. He's given me, like, a home when I didn't have anywhere to go. Like, it was either stay somewhere that's not healthy, or if he wasn't there, what option would I have, you know? And it's just like, he's, from the beginning, this is what I'm saying, from the beginning, he has shown me nothing but kindness. I think I find it very hard to show that I appreciate what someone's done. I think it's hard for me to show that, but I really do. Like, we've been through a lot of stuff that we didn't need to go through, and there's been a lot of hard times. Like, apart from what you guys have seen, there's been other hard things, and it's like, no matter what, we've still gotten through it. There's been really scary times, and he made me feel like it's gonna be okay, and it was. I just miss him a lot. Like, I feel like it's just not fair. It's not fair that, like, the fact that we're not together, and it's not our choice. That's not fair.
I didn't know how this video was gonna turn out. I didn't want to script it or anything. I just wanted to kind of free talk, and I don't know. I just really wanted to express that you guys miss Mina. Trust me, I miss her so much more.